Hello, people. It's your boss man back again with another match preview. And listen, some people will say this is the Usmaan derby. It's not. I'm Manchester United, right? Allow me with the Sheffield United comment with I wait for them. I don't support them. I never have supported them. It is what it is. But that's aside. Let's get into the preview. As always, we got two fantastic guests on my right. We got Jerry from United Team Talk. What are you saying, Jerry?
Yes, Usmaan. Thank you for having me on. Excited for the game, man.
Yes. Also, just before I introduce one of the guests, just a quick shout out to Jerry. He's very close to 100 subscribers. I think that's 7 off. So
yeah, enough for that, man.
It's completely free. Go and subscribe, man. I know Daniel and the boys are eyes on the ball, and obviously bits and bobs are just to reach 100 as well. So let's get Jerry and the homies on 100 as well, man. It's literally 7 subscribers, boys. Come on. And also the American. I don't want to use the word Yankee. I know you call yourself. I don't know if that's a offensive term or not. But listen, the American that we all love to love is Sean. What are you saying, brother?
What's good, fam? Nah, you could say Yank. You know, over here, I'm not a snowflake, even though I'm getting snowed in right now. So I'm not easily offended. They can call me what they want. Just don't ever call me late because I'm going to be here on time.
Jeez.
Love to say. A man's got bars as well for days. And also make sure you go check out Sean's channels. I know he started it recently. But obviously make sure you go support both of the guys, man. That's what it's all about. As always, drop a like, get your comments in, as the United way always does. Yes, boys, well done, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Anyways, Manchester United v Sheffield United in the match preview. We're going to discuss our thoughts going into the game, the manner which we should approach it, our team selections, the threats that we possess, the threats that they possess, that kind of thing. So by all means, let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you are new, make sure you subscribe to our channel as well. We're very close to 1K. I'm asking for a lot here, but if you can get to 1K tomorrow before the new year, I'd be buzzing. But anyways, enough waffling. Let's get into it. Listen, we'll start with yourself first, Jerry. Manchester United coming off the back of some would say a disappointing draw. Obviously, I've not really got your thoughts in detail regarding that. What are your thoughts having watched us play against Man City coming into this game?
Obviously, straight after the game, I think like most people, I was disappointed that we didn't go for the win. I think both teams were happy with the draw. It was actually the deadest derby I've ever seen. But upon reflection, it's not a bad point when you think about it. Like City at home, I know at home we should be winning our games, but a point against City, when you look at our last 5 games, I think we've won 4 and we've drawn that last one. It's not that bad. I think after the Leipzig game, this was a must-not-lose game. That's how I look at it now. If we lost against City as well, it just would have been like all guns blazing. But yeah, man, a 0-0 against City is not bad considering the drop points around the league. And yeah, man, looking forward to this upcoming game. Oh, wow, where did he go?
Got dropped.
Okay.
Usmaan done got so mad at himself, he kicked himself out of his own stream. We can't be having that thing.
That is madness.
I'm with you on that, though.
He's coming back.
Right, okay, sorry, apologies for that. I don't know what's just happened. My phone just got a mind of his own for the first time in its life and just decided to cut me off, but yeah, I apologize. Sorry, as you were saying.
Yes, a point against City is not bad considering the recent results from other teams. So tomorrow, must win game, man. Must win.
100%. No, I completely echo that sentiment. In the fan calling show, we had a couple of guests on, and everyone was pissed. Like practically everyone. Like Kojo was pissed, and he's normally very level-headed. And some of the guys, Ads wasn't happy with the result either. Jerry, did you come on? I'm sure you came on as well, right?
I didn't. I don't think I came on that week.
Right, okay. I can't remember who the third person. There was somebody else. They're gonna hate me. I think it was Bob. But yeah. So everyone that came on after the game against Man City game was like, frustrated with the result or the performance more than the result, I guess. And I was one of the few people that was saying, look, I can understand everyone's frustrations, but we've got to look at it in the grand scheme of things. If you don't beat Sheffield United, then I'll go back to the Man City game. Because you see with Jose Mourinho so many times, I reckon he's going to play for a draw tonight. Whenever this game is. So I personally think that, in the grand scheme that you get those points. I know we're at home. We were home against Man City, so realistically, you want to go for the win. But I just think in the grand scheme of things, the point to Man City is not bad. It builds momentum. You got the unbeaten streak, so to speak, keep going. You know, builds confidence for the players. It's about carrying it on. It's all about carrying it on for me, Sean. Like, how important is this game tomorrow? I know a lot of people can say we should go and beat them, but listen, we're Man United fans. We know the situation. It's not like that. We don't do definites. We do inconsistency. No, we're ready.
Yeah, well, see, I'm that deluded fan. So for me, it's a definite. We slapping them up tomorrow. So I mean,
don't say that.
Anything less isn't acceptable. But I'm gonna say real quick about that derby too. I've on so many different meet so many different wonderful people on football Twitter and YouTube and all that. And man, I listened to this guy the other day on a stream try to argue with me that we did not set up to we never set up to draw, or we never set up not to lose. I'm like, fam, what are you talking about? That game the other day, we easily could have made some changes on the 60th minute and went for it because City was there to be had. And so the thing is, it bothers me about that type of mentality is, over here in America, there was an American football coach, and he got a lot of stick for how he coached sometimes. And he's known in a soundbite where he said, you play to win the game. And so there's sometimes where, those, to me, I look at as 2 points dropped, but it is a good point in hindsight, especially seeing what everything else happened. So with us, we are consistently inconsistent, and we typically struggle against the small teams. However, Sheffield typically, I'm only going off of last season, what I was seeing, they don't just set up to park the bus.
Yeah.
And so when teams set up like that, that's when I feel we have the most problems. That being said, I hear what you guys are saying. I'm going to spit some probably nonsense, and I'm going to be deluded, but I'll be honest with you for a minute and say anything could happen because that's how we are. But for me, it is a must win because listen, we cannot play a team on the form that they're on and not go out to beat them. I'm right. Again, at this point, I don't even want to draw. Now, if it was like we got a dodgy penalty against us by the ref, and we had this and that, and we were down 2-0, and we came back and drew, then okay, I feel you. But the set out, listen, all I'm saying is, for the love of all things holy and sacred, I do not want to see a set up straight up defensive with two DMs.
God. We're gonna get into that.
No double
very shortly. I swear to God.
That's the fair, man.
I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm telling you now.
For real.
But listen, you said quite a few things in terms of the fixture itself. The most noticeable thing is their form as well. Going to, it's not a derby, and you can't use that old cliche saying, "Oh, the form goes out the window." Because for these games, it definitely does not go out the window. They're a team that are low on confidence. Of course, we know that a lot of their games, from what I've seen as well, have been fine margins. They lost to Leicester last minute. The couple of those results prior to that, they've lost by 1 goal every single game, but bar the recent game when they lost 3-0 to Southampton, I believe. But prior to that, they've been in the game. But even that's even more disheartening for them. You're in the game and you lose it late. Their confidence is going to be on the floor. They haven't got someone up front who's a clinical goal scorer, which is one of the reasons why they're struggling a lot. Of course, we know they lack creativity as well. But in terms of Manchester United, Jerry, right? Sheffield United aside, we'll touch upon them shortly. In terms of us, let's cut the bullshit in there. We have to win this game, but we should win this game comfortably. Because at the end of the day, the other teams around us, I know Fulham have held Liverpool, so there's no guarantees in this league. West Brom have held Man City as well. Again, no guarantees. But that all aside, we've got to do our job. If we're going to ever see progress from this team, we can't say, oh, Liverpool drew to Fulham, so okay, a point Sheffield United. Listen, it doesn't work like that. We can't be dropping points against teams like this. They've got 1 point in about 12, 13 games. It's not good enough, is it?
No, like you said, man, regarding to other teams, the fact that we are playing last, it kind of concerns me, man, because then we would have seen every team play and we're the last game of the game week.
Yeah, always, man, always.
All the time.
All the results, we battle it every time, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm fair for. But like you said, it is Sheffield United. I think they've lost every game bar one. And regarding the setup, it was all down to only what team we picked because, like you guys said, the two DMs are defensive. If I see Matic or McTominay, I'm gonna lose my shit, man. Because it's Sheffield United. Like, come on. I didn't even want to see Luke Shaw. This is Tellis' game. Like, it should be a standard win. I don't even know why we're stressing, but because we know what team we support,
It's true.
the heart can't even take it. But we should win, man. We should win comfortably.
Yeah, no, it should be a bank, and I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans are supporting us as well because it's their competition at the bottom of the table. And so, listen, let's just get a couple of comments in here. United way saying we need Martial to get on the sheet. We will touch upon Martial and obviously the front line very shortly. Jamie saying we're not consistent, though. I completely agree. If you play enough creative players like Bruno and Pogba together, we have enough to unlock their defense. Against Southampton, they played a very high line. A win is a must. Let's just come on to our creative players, Sean. In terms of the midfield, first and foremost, I feel like this is the most talked about thing that we discussed on my platform anyways. For you personally, right, who should start? Because I know I've got a feeling Van der Beek's not going to start this game and everyone's going to be on Twitter tweeting, free Van der Beek, free Van der Beek. Do you think this is a game for Van der Beek, or do you think there should be other people playing ahead of him?
Oh, here's what. No. Listen, I have personal feelings about the Van der Beek situation. I feel like Ole is throwing his toys out the pram because he didn't get Jack Grealish, and that's why he acts the way he does with Van der Beek. Because let's spit facts. Outside of one time we've seen Van der Beek, every single time he's played, he's been class. Every time. But one game he struggled a little bit. Besides that, so here's what I see. We're too heavily reliant on Bruno Fernandes. We have too many people in our fan base that want to be so full of their own agenda. They can't understand that we can have Bruno and Pogba and like them both. It's okay to. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. At the end of the day, I think we have to realize, for me, this is a game to rest Bruno. This guy is starting to look knackered. And this guy, we cannot burn this guy out. If Ole wants to keep a job, this guy single-handedly kept him in a job already. If he burns him out, he's in trouble. So I think this game, if it was me in the midfield, listen, I would play I want to go attacking. I would play Fred and Paul and Van der Beek together. That's what I would do. I don't think Ole would do that at all because Bruno, like I said, he's almost undroppable in Ole's world. But I think that it's not about that he needs to be dropped. It's that he needs a rest. And we keep playing him. This is the holiday season coming up. Bruno hasn't walked through the Christmas Boxing Day situation in England before. He's about you gonna learn today, youngin. You gonna learn in the next few weeks. So we have to. If you can't rest him against a team with 1 point, So for me, I would rest him and play Donnie. I don't think it'll happen. For some reason, again, and I say this on every platform, but I always shout out Usmaan every time I do it because it's not my invention. He'll play his favorite son, McPassion. McPassion offers next to nothing except he'll kiss the badge, and this is according to Usmaan, has the best knee slides in the league. So listen, I give it up for the best knee slides in the league. So ultimately, I think that. And if it were me, I would play Fred and Donnie beside each other and play Paul more forward because Donnie has been a box-to-box 8 most of his career, and he'll bite into a tackle. For all those saying, "Oh, it's not defensive enough, Paul, don't defend," go back and rewatch the West Ham game and put him beside your favorite McPassion and look and see what the stats were because he carried McPassion all through the game and had better defensive numbers. So if my guy isn't giving us defense and always giving us his knee slides, you got to keep that to the bench until we need you. That's just my opinion.
Right. First and foremost, regarding McTominay, if McTominay is starting this game, I'm going to be livid. I'm just throwing that out. There's no way McTominay starts. We do not need Scott McTominay to deal with tools to Sheffield United. He's in the team to be breaking up play. Of course, we're going to need someone to break up the play, but they're not. I'm not expecting much from them going forward, realistically speaking. Coming back to what you said, I've not thought of it like that. I've got to be honest. I captained Bruno on FPL. Now that you mentioned it,
same,
now that you've said it, I completely agree with what you said because why are we not resting him?
He's tired and he's coaching at the same time. Yeah. Man's yelling over always talking about Rashford's hurt, take him off. My man's coaching the team, carrying us.
In Ollie's defense, just to throw it out there, He did rest him against West Ham. Of course, he had to sub him on at half time as the fans demanded it to happen. Of course, we were 1-0 down at the time. So he did rest him. He did bench Rashford as well. So, he did rotate the squad there. So hopefully he does do the same thing here. I think that's the right decision because we've got Leeds on Sunday as well. We know that's going to be a very intense game in terms of the manner in which they're going to press us. They're going to be on job.
Bro, when I first started following this sport, right, because, where I live, in my age bracket, boys didn't play this game, right? This was where I'm from. We played basketball and American football. And this sport was for girls. That's why USA, we smack everyone in the world are girls. Anyway, so, but it's changed. It's changed. It's been beautiful to watch in the last probably 20 years. The sport has taken over our whole nation. And so once it really hits the cities and everyone keeps playing sports, you go find the Yanks are coming. But let me say this to you. The problem I have is that when I started watching this sport and I picked a team, I was taught very early on, you hate bin dippers and you hate them filthy scumbags in white. And look, I got nothing but venom coming for Sunday. I'm telling you, we lose Sunday, it's bro. I'm deactivated.
We'll come back to Sunday.
Bro, we got a game tomorrow first.
Well, tomorrow's a walk. We walking.
I don't say that, Sean, man.
I didn't hear what you said.
You said tomorrow's a walk. Guaranteed.
No.
I'm just messing with Jerry, man. He's getting nervous.
But so this is a good point here on contrast to what you said. I wouldn't rest Bruno, but if you get a couple of early goals, you can take them off. I think that's also a very valid way of looking at it. You could potentially play all three of them, Bruno, Pogba, and Van de Beek in a dime. I don't know if anyone would want to do that, but I don't know. I'd potentially be open to doing that. Yeah, but for me personally, I do hear your point regarding Bruno not starting. Jerry, I'm going to pass it to you. What are your thoughts? He's made a good point. There's one in the comments saying the opposite, basically. Just before I get you in, shout out to Harris as well for tuning in, my guy. Appreciate it. But yeah, Jerry, what are your thoughts? Would you start him or would you listen to Sean and rest him?
Well, you literally just said it. The diamond's what I'm going for. I'll play all three of them. I know to rest, like Sean brought it up to rest him. I didn't, like you said, I didn't even think about that. But if I'm gonna go, I'll actually go for the diamond and play Fred, Bruno, Pogba, and Van de Beek because we're gonna have most of the ball, so we might as well get our best players on the pitch. And I'll start Martial and Rashford up top. I think Rashford and Greenwood, whenever they start up top together, it just looks.
They can't play together again.
Exactly. And I think Martial, this is the game he finally scores because we need him, man.
Come on, Martial.
Cavani's out. Martial, we need you to step up right now. So yeah, that's and the back four obviously picks it, so I can't change anything there. Wan-Bissaka's played a lot of games though. I'm a bit worried. He's played every game.
Yeah, so is Maguire, isn't he? That lineup that you've gone for is exactly what I went for. We know that Cavani is not going to play this game. Cavani just going to rush him back. Know that he's shown against a team that's on 1 point. If you need to play Cavani desperately against Sheffield United, and Ollie just gets out, man. You need Cavani for this game. Do you know what I mean? Just regarding in terms of Martial, Rashford on top, got a comment here saying they need to fill their boots. Look, for me personally, I'm just going to throw this out to you, Sean. Yeah. I couldn't give a shit about how we perform tomorrow. I've been saying it a lot consistently, right? That I want us to play well and win. Obviously, of course, I want to do that. I want to start seeing style of play, etc. But I've got to the point now that in my head, I'm not even going to contemplate us playing well because it's not going to happen, innit? So let's get the biggest 3 points on the board.
Man's just giving up hope.
I've given up on the philosophy, innit? I've actually given up. Look, for me personally, no one in the league is playing particularly well. Spurs went through a very good period. Obviously, the Hamados, embarrassers, whatever. And then that passage of play, or that patch of play, should I say, they were absolutely phenomenal in the manner in which they're dispatching teams. Liverpool, for me, have done it in 2 games this season to play well. The Leicester win and the Wolves win, I think they were brilliant in both of them. In particular, the Leicester one, because they had a lot of injuries. Some of the other games, you can look at them and say they've not been at the scintillating best. The point I'm trying to make is a lot of teams at the moment are not playing well, but they're getting the points, which is what we're doing. So, Sean, in that sort of aspect, in terms of performance, do you really give a shit, or is it just a matter of just by all means just get the points on the board?
Well, I think you're spot on for feeling the way you do because it's been over 2 years now. So we we know what to expect, and that's that we don't know what to expect. You know, our own manager doesn't know how we're going to play half the time. What really system do we have? Who are we really? We counter some teams. We do this. We do that. 3-5-2. Sometimes it's played as a 5-3-2, 4-4-2, diamond, 4-3-3, a little bit, 4-2-3-1, 4-4.
It's all over the place.
But it's all over. You know, it's all over. So for me, I'm the same way. At the end of the day, irregardless of my private agendas of who I want to see in the club and whatever, it's always going to be the badge to win. You know, I get tired of these arguments from people that throw fits about the manager, for example, saying you got to support the club. And I'm like, well, it's funny how when y'all get mad about a player, you're talking about players aren't bigger than the badge, but you talk about this manager like he is. Facts. So at the end of the day, I support the club. No matter how we win, by a hook or by a crook, I'm all about the win. Listen, I'm a Raiders fan since I was a kid too. We have a saying, just win, baby. You know, at the end of the day, I want to win. That's all I want. And for me, you know, this week, you know, I saw a comment came up. I know people will throw a fit about what I said in the midfield, say it's not defensive enough and this and that. But I'm basing that upon this. The best midfield performance I can remember in 2020 for me was against Sevilla. I felt that Fred, Bruno, and Pogba played amazing in that semifinal. And so I'm thinking that, but substituting Donnie in, that's what I'm thinking there. So I don't want people thinking this yank is just spitting nonsense. But I want to say this. Cavani's not hurt anymore, is he? He's back in training?
He's not fit enough to play the game. Ollie said
okay, yeah. Well, that changes my scenario then, because I wasn't going with a diamond because I just didn't think that Ollie was going to for this game. And so for me across the front, I wanted to see Tony on the left, Tarzan down the middle, and Rashi out right. That's what I was hoping to see, just because I wanted to see what we would do with that. And let Mason be the super sub down the middle, you know, if Tarzan got hurt. So for me, that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, let's get a couple of the comments in because there's a one that I want to mention anyways to hear your thoughts on it. We'll just get this one in from Akil. I think he's kind of saying what me and Jerry said. If there's any team in the league, Ollie can't play 2 CDMs, it's against Sheffield United at the moment. We should go all out, attack, pick Fred, Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno is literally what several of you said. Rashford, Martial, and let's battle them. To be honest, right? And again, I've just said that I don't care how we play. Of course I don't, because we need the point. But what I will say is our goal difference is shit.
Yes.
We really do need to improve it. And I'm not saying that, I want us to go out and hit for. Of course I want that, but what I'm saying is we need to pick up some goals at some point because we're not.
This game is on the road, right?
Yeah.
We'll proper smash them.
Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is we're not scoring enough goals. This is a perfect opportunity for us to build a bit of confidence. I'm saying all this shit, and we probably lose 1-0, but build a bit of confidence and just put in a performance. Again, I don't want people to think I'm contradicting myself. If you don't put in a performance or win 2-0, I'm not going to be upset because I don't care. But what I'm saying is, in terms of if we want to win the title, we need to start putting a performance against shit team and show why we're why we should be in the conversation, should I say? So, bearing that in mind, Jerry, how do you want us to approach the game? Like, what do you want to see from us in terms of style of play? Well, we don't need to go into too much detail, but in terms of from the beginning of the game, so to speak.
You say that you don't care about the style of the play. I do, because
I do care. But
I know, but
I've given up on Ollie to deliver me a
consistent. Okay, I understand you.
That's the point.
Against Sheffield, I mean, we can't keep doing this, going behind, away from home, and coming back. I'm tired of it, man. Every time conceding first, it's like, what is going on? Like, I think we need to smash. Going to the approach to the game, I think we need to smash these first half and then start taking off players, because I think the last game we played them at home post lockdown, we smashed them 3-0. I'm looking for
Martial Baghdad.
Yeah, hat-trick. Yeah.
First 8 minutes, Rashford literally just whipped in, and Martial.
I'm looking for the same performance. Just get the job done first half. I don't want to go into the halftime 0-0 because that'll just stress me out. Just get the job done, and then we can bring on McPassion. You can bring on Matic and just shut it down, and we prepare for Leeds. Yeah, let's just go out attack. Tellers is starting for me. I know Luke Shaw.
That was the next thing I was going to ask you.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah.
Can I ask you a question though? Are you going to ask about goalkeeper? Because I think that's a big talking point,
What, Henderson and thingy?
Yeah, because De Gea, man, like I don't know, man.
You know what pisses me off about De Gea, right? And I'm sure every fan will say the same: is just come and catch the ball, man.
Oh, bro, that's the only thing I ask.
Stop standing on your line, bro.
Just grab it. Just come and grab it.
Just come and catch it, like. You know, I don't know if you guys watch Ben Foster on YouTube, and he's got
he's got with a camera.
Really good YouTube channel. I don't know why I'm shouting him out because you don't need it, but if you don't, just go and check out Ben Foster's YouTube. And he has a GoPro in his net for every game now, right? He comes the amount of times he commands his box. He's like way shorter than De Gea. Comes, collects the ball. I'm not saying we want Ben Foster, but it makes such a big difference for the confidence, especially for Lindelof, right?
Yeah,
Wyatt might be okay because he's good in the air. And he's dominant, but the amount of De Gea could build Lindelof's confidence so much if he just knows, if it's anywhere near the 6-yard box, my keeper's got it, so I don't need to worry about this. And because the amount of times that Lindelof gets caught in a position that De Gea can just come and punch it at least, or catch it. Like Pickford's dog shit. Like Pickford is dog shit. But the other day he played, right, he was coming out and punching everything. Yeah. He kind of messed one up and got away with it against Chelsea. But in general, he was doing his job as a keeper, like come and collect the ball, man. But it's interesting that you mentioned that, because obviously Henderson's, former Sheffield United.
I'll start him in this game. I think is like you said, bottom of the league. You might as well throw him in now. And I think we need to transition the Henderson to becoming number one now, because the Gea, that Leipzig game, I knew that he was going to be involved somehow. Like that third goal, like what are you doing? Be commanding, come out, make yourself big. He's turning his back. Like it gives us fans calculations. Like just come out, grab it, and it calms the whole fan base down. Like when the goalkeeper just comes, as the dangerous corner, he comes and just grabs it. It's like, but with De Gea, every corner, every set piece, I just don't know.
I'm panicking.
Trust me. Yeah, man. So I'll start Henderson. Oh yeah, one quick question. What about Mata starting this game? It's a shout.
It is a shout, to be fair. I think Kojo would probably want Matt to start. I personally don't think Sheffield United are going to sit back. Like, I don't think they'll sit back.
Really?
But I can't. They might. I'd be surprised if they don't try and play football. Like, that's what they know, really. Like, I can't imagine them parking bus. Like, we've not spoken much about their threats because there's not many, to be honest. But they have got quality in the team, but they're not showing it at the moment. Yeah, I don't think they sit back. I think they're going to play football, And they play with full wing backs as well. So you might get doubled up on one Saka quite easily. But Sean, what are your thoughts in terms of the approach? As I've said, it's just one of those games. We just get the 3 points on the board. Of course, I want us to play good football, but we need to close that gap, because this is like our game in hand. Because Liverpool and Spurs are playing each other. One of them's dropping points, if not both. So realistically, the way you look at it, we're catching up to one of them two teams. And it'll build a confidence regardless, that even if the fans don't genuinely believe we can make ground on them, mentally and psychologically for the players, we're only 2 points behind Spurs, they lost to Liverpool. With the game in hand, we win, we overtake, and so we need to win this game, don't we?
Yeah. Well, the thing that makes me nervous about the game in hand discussion is I believe it's Burnley, and we know how they do it. So that's not a guaranteed 3 points. So let me say this: I'm going to disagree with Jerry on two things he just said, but not because he's wrong, because he's right. I just want to say it from a different perspective, right? So Here's the thing. I like Alex Telles better than Luke Shaw. Facts. But I would not start Alex Telles over Luke Shaw right now for one simple reason. A few weeks ago, I was with my kids at an indoor water park, right? And I'm past my prime, fam. I am. I was an athlete, stopped doing all that, let the dad bod kick in. If I took Luke Shaw with me and we were chilling with our shirts off, I wouldn't be intimidated. Now, here's an issue. This is an issue for a professional athlete. Luke Shaw, ever since he heard Poch might come, that dude has been he got more assists in a week than in his entire career. This guy, because Poch's teams run, Luke Shaw ain't feeling all that running. So guess what? He's balling out as hard as he can trying to save Ollie. So right now, listen, you might want to play Luke Shaw because that dude's playing for his life right now. He don't want that extra work. So I don't know if we should ever drop that guy until there might be
you know why I said that? Because we got Leeds on Sunday, and I don't want to see Tellers against Leeds.
Yeah.
It's going to be up and down. I'd rather play Luke Shaw, so I'm just rotating the squad in that sense. But I understand.
But the thing for me I like about Tellers too, though, I think eventually we got to get him into those rivalry games because that guy, but I watched some clips of him.
He's a fighter, man.
Yeah, I got time for it. He's like one of those dudes that'll kick you in the stands and bite you and stuff on the ground. I got time for all that nonsense. Like for real, I would have get Ashley Young a testimonial for kicking Di Maria into the side. I got time for it.
I love that.
So the other point is I think if De Gea is your starter, I said this at the beginning of the season. Either first off, you can't get rid of De Gea because who's going to buy him? We pay these ridiculous wages. We act like, oh, let's sell him. To who? Who's going to pay him $350? Who?
True.
You know what I'm saying? So we're stuck. And now we just gave Timbo a contract. For what? We offered him a contract. Why? Like we do this because we're poorly run, no DOF, and what they do is they do this because they try to protect their investment, hoping they can sell a player. Yeah, that's why they do it. But the thing that annoys me is that you cannot have two legitimate number ones for too long at goalkeeper. Because people say, well, it's been good for De Gea. Well, it's been bad for Dean because he's not playing enough.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, I think Dean should have been left on loan, but it wasn't. So it's going to become a problem. Why? Because as soon as De Gea has a moment, we're all calling for Dean Henderson. So I just feel like ultimately he's got to pick one and stay with them unless he's going to do a cup situation. And we know you can't trust him for that because last year he punked Sergio Romero, played him in game, and then we got to the semifinal and he sat him, which is, hey, listen, play your best players. I get it. But listen, that stuff messes with a locker room. And we're not back there to see it. But you could just look at that sorry team from North London and how their players act toward each other. They on social media talking trash to each other.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, it's fun for us, you know, but real talk, we can't have that. We need a strong manager that keeps unity in the squad and get everyone balling out. Look, if the team is good with the rotation, I'd play Dean myself. But if he keeps playing around with that, De Gea is going to throw a fit, and we know how good De Gea is when his mind isn't in it. He turns trash. Or Dean's going to be like, look, if I'm not the number one, I'm ready to bounce. So this is a tricky situation, you know.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You both made valid points regarding Henderson. I can't discredit them. You know, in terms of me personally, I think De Gea's actually had a really good start to the season. I know that game against RB Leipzig, the third goal, I was absolutely fuming as much as anybody else. I was so pissed off.
He's not commanding. You guys were spot on. He is not commanding. My man looks like he's scared.
For real.
Catch the ball, man.
I do think different aspects of his game have improved. And again, his kicking has improved a lot for me. I've been slagging his kicking off the last couple of years. I think this season has been good. He's been coming off his line a lot more in terms of the sweeper keeper role. Again, he can do more. I'm not denying that. However, I'm seeing improvements there. He just needs to come and command his box. And it's a massive part of keep. For me personally, the person that I remember the most, of course, Van der Sar being one of them. But the other one being Peter Cech, man. Peter Cech was me off, man. Because he would catch everything. He literally would catch everything. So that is what you want from a keeper. And it relieves a lot of pressure, as I already mentioned. And it just makes your defender's job a lot easier, man. And plus, opposition team, they're more reluctant to cross it, knowing that you got a keeper that's going to come and collect it. With De Gea, they're crossing the ball freely because they know even if it's 3 yards away from him, he's not going to catch it unless he's practically touching his body, which does piss me off. But the other two people you mentioned, Tellers, and we've got someone in the comments, Akil, who's a regular on the show. Why is Ollie not using Brandon Williams at right back in any games? Who is your second choice right back? Wan-Bissaka is going to get injured. I think it's a very good point. I think for this game in particular, you can get, we don't really want him to change too much. But I definitely think if you're going to go for the diamond, as me and Jerry have suggested, I do think Williams does make sense. Because they're not going to offer much threat going forward, in my personal opinion. We've not really spoken about their threats. The main one for me is Sander Berge. Like, he's the one in it. Obviously, Ollie's annoying, he's Norwegian, etc. He does look like a talent. Like, don't get me wrong, he looks like a proper player. They've got other players in there. Lundstrom is industrial, has had a poor start to this season. The defense again is not really done it for me. Baldock, etc. They're not really done well this season. But the problem for them is that they're toothless up front. They've got no quality up front. So that's why, for me personally, we should be playing a high line and squeezing them, because we shouldn't be scared of what they got up front. There's no like when you play against certain teams that you kind of drop the line, or they might be able to call it. Moose, to be fair, I hope Moose is not starting it. He hasn't started the last couple of games. He's got blistering pace. For some reason, he's not playing. I don't really know why. He was one of the better players last season. So if he's playing, it might change what I'm saying, because he's very quick getting in behind. But if he's not playing, I'm expected to be in McBurney starting, who's not quick. Maguire will pocket him.
We gotta watch McGoldrick.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this clown Jake Paul out there calling out Conor McGregor online, right? These Irishmen stick together. You know, every Irish player for the next 3 days is going to be on smoke, thinking they fighting Jake Paul. You know, so we got to watch McGoldrick pocket that guy.
Now, McGoldrick's got ability, but again, he doesn't have an eye for goal.
What about Brewster? Brewster's a sharp.
Yeah. Again, Brewster. To be fair,
Man, I wish you wouldn't have said that, man.
Come on, he's good.
Nah, because I just have this feeling he's gonna score now, man. We should have said that kid's name.
I don't think he'll start.
He's a scout, right?
If I'm guessing it's McGoldrick and McBurney, that's who I think is a start. And if that's the case, we should be able to lock it off light work. Obviously, Brewster's got ability about him, but he's not really happening for him. He's a young lad as well, in terms of a lack of experience. Just coming back to the Tellers and Shaw, because just to get everyone's opinions, I would personally start Tellers if I'm playing the Diamond. Although Luke Shaw, to be fair to him, has had a couple of decent games. And you made a good point. You can't play against Leeds, Tellers, for me, because he'll get killed as it stands. So to play in this game, Shaw in for Leeds. Sean, which way have you gone for?
No, I would play. I was just joking about Luke Shaw. I mean, actually, kind of wasn't joking. He is scared of Podge. But no, I would play Tellers. You know, here's the thing about Luke Shaw, man. I mean, he's played well defensively at times.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: a lot of times too, he gets out of position as well. But he uses his pace to recover and make himself look a little better. And people's like, he had an amazing game, but he was out of position 3 times. He got back and made a good tackle though. So I give the guy credit. You know, I just feel like going forward, he's so inconsistent and he doesn't like the overlap. I just feel like psychologically he's never gotten past getting snapped. I feel like there's just something about really going forward. You just see him sometimes hesitate. You know, ultimately, for me, now I will say this though, he put in a few good balls in the box from a corner as well.
He's surprising.
Yeah. I was like, who is this guy?
I was so confused. I was like,
ultimately, man, I would pick. I think you guys are spot on. For me, it's Tellez this game, Luke Shaw against the.
Sean, what's your actual lineup? Because me and Jerry have obviously got the same team for a change. So who are you going for? Because we're not actually giving you the full reins.
I think if De Gea isn't still injured, he'll pick De Gea. So I'm good with either.
Forget what Ollie would do because we ain't got.
Well, what would I do?
What are you doing if you're in charge?
This is different. Now we talking. If it was me right now, it would be Dean because David needs someone to slap him even more after that Leipzig game. He's got me irritated. It would be Tellez, Harry Maguire because he did play pretty good against City. Not bad. Some of those blocks saved us points. Not bad for a fridge. So I'll say that for everyone who likes to slag him off. You know, Harry Maguire reminds me of our team. You know, there's no consistency with this guy. Like he'll have a run of games where he's immense, and then he'll have a run of game where he's tackling his own teammates. The guy, it's frustrating. But I would say Harry and Axel because Axel needs to get playing time, and he's the quicker player. And I just do not understand how he can play the way he did against PSG the first time and barely even get a sniff since. He's a young player. He needs confidence and needs a run of games. If you can't play him against this team, again, right side AWB because we know that's just what's going to happen. I would love to see Ethan Laird. I mean, I've only seen him in the academy online. And again, everyone can look good against people their own age, own size, all that. I'd like to see him a little bit more every once in a while thrown into the first team. But I believe that, I believe it'll be AWB. That's who I would play. I think Brandon Williams needs a loan, in my opinion. I saw someone ask about him earlier. Midfield, I already said. For me, it'll be Fred, Donnie, and Paul because I believe we're going to have a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
And Fred and Donnie can both, Donnie is smart. If you say, listen, this game, what I need you to do with Fred is this. I need you to be breaking up play more. He's our most press-resistant player as well. So it worked with Fred, Paul, and Bruno against a better team. We should play 4-3-3. We all know this. We've been saying that since that was the dream Ollie sold us that got him the job. That 4-3-3 flying, Paul on. We were all sitting always at the wheel, and we were like, man, this is what we're talking about. My guy got the job and was like turned every look. My man shifted up on everybody quick. 4-2-3-1 double pivot. Paul sit back there and just do nothing. But anyway, that's what happened. And up top, you guys changed me up, because I was all for my guy Tarzan, but he's at his age with his injuries. I think it's going to be, man, Jerry really got me thinking now. I would say
you've not got much options. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, I was thinking about
Martial, Mata, or Lingard.
I was thinking about Juan Mata.
Lingard. Oh my God, I forgot about
it. You know how people want to throw shade at my guy Paul Pogba for years, playing with the stuff he was playing with in the midfield, bro. Yeah. Having Andreas and Jesse in front of him. People talking about, man, don't get me started. So anyway, Tony down the middle, Marcus out left, Mason out right.
All right, say no more. I think that is realistic. To be fair, the Twan Sabi shot, I agree with that. So I'd probably chuck him in over Lindelof, actually, now that you mentioned that one. In terms of, just to wrap it up, I'm just going to ask everyone, let us know your thoughts as well. How you think the game's going to pan out? I always love saying this because it never pans out the way we expect it to. So, Jerry, we'll start with you first. How do you expect the game to pan out? And then obviously give you a score prediction as well.
Realistically, or what? Realistically,
what do you think? Just whatever you want to say, whatever you think will happen.
Realistically, I think we'll start slow once again. Halftime, go down, set piece, the usual away performance, and then bring whoever we need to bring on, and then my predictions 3-1, man, 3-1 United.
Okay, to be fair, I'll take the 3-1 regardless. That's a good score in it either way, and it's +2 on the goal difference as I mentioned earlier. Sean, what do you reckon? Jerry saying we're going to start slow. We're going to be a goal down at halftime. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that, but for me, it's 3-0. I don't see him scoring. I see us, like I said, I'm all confident. You got 1 point in the league. We coming to slap you. We coming to take names. You know what I'm saying?
The set pieces, though. The set pieces.
Had your kids, had your family. Because the Red Devils are coming to town, you know what I mean? So 3-0.
Listen, Martial, we don't really mention Martial and Rashford at all in this video, but them two need to show me what they did earlier post-lockdown when they were linking up and passing the ball to each other and staying close to each other. Martial in particular needs a goal desperately, so I really hope he gets a goal today, tomorrow, and obviously puts in a performance. For me personally, slightly on the opposite side. I think we're going to play shit. I think it's going to be what a shock. I think it's going to be a ridiculously tight game. Look, I said this to Cody in the WhatsApp group, and he wasn't happy about what I'm about to say. The reason I believe it's going to be a tight game is not because they're a good team. It's mainly because we're inconsistent. The manner in which we approach the game is going to be very negative in terms of the intensity, the approach. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, in it, but I just think it's going to be a tight game and we're going to just beat them 1-0. I genuinely think we'll just beat them. Again, I don't give a shit if someone says to me, you'll win 1-0, I'll take it at this moment because I'm just desperate for points, man. Just get the points on the board, man. But listen, it could be 3-0, it could be 4-0, we could lose, who knows with this Man United team. But what I will say is let us know in the comment section down below whenever you watch the video. Just to wrap you up, we are winning 6-0. Oh,
yes, I got time for it.
I say that with a straight face. Martial 2, Bruno 2, Rashford 1, Pogba 1. If that is the scoreline, then man score, that would be beautiful. Via saying, are you Ollie out? As it currently stands and as it has been, we're all Ollie out, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Everyone here is Ollie out. Listen, I just want Ollie to prove me wrong, and I'll be happy to say Ollie's out. But listen, that's the main thing. We ain't got no agendas here. We're not here.
My only agenda this year is Di Matteo. Let's get 2 trophies and ship him. Let's go.
I'm fine with that.
All day.
Hey, listen, I'll take that as well. Champions League and off you go, mate. I'll take that right now. Someone offered it me. But listen, drop a like, subscribe to the channel as always. Before we go, Jerry, tell the people where they can find you.
That's all down there. Jerry United _ on the Twitter and United Team Talk on the YouTube. Like I said, couple of 100. So if you guys can just subscribe, be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Yes. Make sure you guys show the boys. Make sure you guys show them love. Like I said, let's get them to 100. And also, Sean, where can they find you, brother?
Yeah, football Twitter at WWReds _show on YouTube. Give me some love. I'm new to this thing. Worldwide Reds show, the Yank that you guys love to love.
Yes, yeah.
Jeez.
Martin obviously back in a hat trick the last time out. Hopefully, he can do something similar. But that has been your preview. Let us know if you're watching this late. Your score predictions down below. We'll be back not with the watch along because I'm late because I'm coming back from work, but with the fan calling show and the match preview. So check us out for that. Anyways, keep your host, man. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.